Hey there, I'm Nicole from Startup Fashion, and in this video, I am going to be talking about 6 tips for pre-order marketing. So pre-order marketing is great. It's a fantastic way to build buzz for your company and your brand before you're launching. It's a great way to predict sales. It's a great way to get an influx of cash for your inventory and your marketing. But it is a lot of work. It requires a really thoughtful strategy to do it, because you really need to build up an excitement for what you're about to do with people who are going to purchase from you with there's nothing there yet, right? Like they're willing to buy and there's no proof yet. So it's something that you really have to spend some time thinking about. And so I wanted to share these 6 tips in this video. So tip number 1, tell a story. So as a startup founder without any history there, what these customers are purchasing is you. I mean, they're purchasing your product, but they're investing in you. Maybe that's a better way to say it, right? So this is your chance and honestly your responsibility to share this story about what they're buying into, using video and photos and written word to really share why you're doing this, why it's important, why you're the person to launch this product, why it should matter to them, how it will help them, all of that. There's a story to be told there, and your marketing around a pre-sale really needs to go at that hard. Now, I know you hear that even when you're not doing pre-sale, but when you are doing pre-sale, it's a non-negotiable. You have to do this because, again, they are investing in you because there's no history there yet, and they're willing to give you money and not get anything in return for a while. And so that's not an easy thing to do. So you really need to spark that desire and willingness in them by telling that story, by opening yourself up, sharing the whole process of starting the journey and why you're doing this and all of that. That will really help them feel more confident and invested and excited about what you're doing. Number 2, consider the customer journey in pre-sale marketing. So you really want to think about what your customer is experiencing when they go through this process, right? So for example, if you are creating a travel-related garment or travel-related product, really go into all of the details about why this is so helpful and special when it comes to travel. Remember that they're going to have questions, and you need to make sure that you have all of those answers for them. You're adding another level of uncertainty by asking them to pay for something that they won't get for a while. So use photography and video to really show why this product is so special. Really push them through that journey of feeling like, I don't really know, to absolutely, I want to have this, by addressing what questions they may have, showing the product from every angle, showing all of the cool things about it. Really make sure that that journey that they're experiencing is like really eye-opening and exciting for them. And the way to do that is to give them as much detail, anticipate their questions, anticipate their objections, all of those things up front, and address them in the content you're putting out there. But not just the questions that are related to the product, also the questions that they're going to have about the entire process, right? So when will you deliver? How will you be communicating with them? Make sure they understand what the whole process is like as an early supporter, which is just another way of saying a pre-sale person or a pre-sale customer. So think about that as well. Make sure that you are coming up with your process so that you can share that process with them up front, and you're not scrambling to figure things out or scrambling to decide when you're going to email them or how you're going to communicate with them beforehand or throughout the process. Make sure that you know that and that you can let them know that too. Number 3, provide value. So you want to give a reason why it's worth it to them to pre-order rather than just wait until you launch. So usually that comes in the form of a discount, right? By pre-ordering, you're saving a little bit of money. That's solid. It pretty much works all the time. It's a one way to go. If you don't want to do something like a discount, you can think more along the lines of people who do crowdfunding, which is rewards. So what kind of rewards could you offer in your pre-selling that would make it worth it to them to order before, to order during the pre-sale? What are the things? Could it have something to do with access to you? Could there be some like special VIP, something that they're a part of? Could there be certain kind of content you're sending them? Think creatively here, and a lot of that will have to do with the kind of product you're creating, the brand that you've developed, but really think, okay, what is the value here? Why are they pre-ordering? Why are they willing to give you money before anything's going to ship? What are the perks there? So that's a really important one. Number 4, build trust. So this is something that's difficult to do when you are a new business and you're launching a new product through pre-sale without any kind of history, but it's not impossible. So one thing you can do for building trust is if you have a few samples through your sampling process, you can get testimonials from from friends of yours, or from those people that you have reached out to early on before you go into pre-sale, and you're gifting them something, one of the products. This is something that would really be powerful to be able to add those testimonials from the people who had that early access, right? That's one way to do it. Another thing that you can do is really think about that storytelling we talked about in the first step, and build trust by sharing more about your background, why you're qualified to launch this product, what you've done to bring this to life, the investment of your time and your creativity. And I mean that in a way of storytelling, like let them see all you've put into this already, because anyone who puts so much love and time and money and resources into getting something off of the ground, that's a place where you're willing to put some trust, because you've put a lot of skin in the game, so they're willing to do the same by pre-ordering. So think about that aspect of really building trust throughout this process of pre-sale marketing. Number 5, consider working with influencers. Now, I know that this one can be a little bit controversial. I find more and more brands are like not into working with influencers. But listen, if this is something you are willing to try, it can be really powerful. So again, if you have enough samples before you jump into pre-sale, you can work with influencers to help build some credibility for your brand, also help get the word out, also help grow your audience. And often if you find a micro influencer that really has your audience, or has the attention of your audience, the people who you believe will be your customers, talk to them. There could be options there to do it as an affiliate kind of situation where they make a certain amount on the amount of pre-sales that they drive, or whatever it is. So it doesn't have to be that you have a lot of cash up front to give an influencer to market your product during a pre-sale. It can be that you work it out more creatively than that, but this can be a really powerful way to start getting the word out about this pre-sale, and also have a little bit of street cred by someone that they already trust, right? So it's like a referral from someone these customers of yours, or potential customers of yours, are already following, kind of standing in for the trust that you have to still work to build. So working with influencers can be a really great addition to your pre-sale marketing. Okay, and the last step in your pre-sale marketing is all about momentum. Momentum is key. So it's a lot of work. When you're launching anything, it's a lot of work. And it's important to remember that momentum, when you first kick this off, is really powerful. So the more support you're getting early on, the more, or the easier it is to continue to get support, because you're getting that early credibility, that early trust, all of those things we've been talking about throughout this whole video. So what that means is, when you go to launch your pre-sale, have a strategy where you're coming at it full force. Don't just Don't limit it to, only your Instagram followers or only your email list. Make sure that you are looking at all of the different channels you have. You have a plan for each one of them. You're coming at it that way. You have a schedule for when you are posting, when you're emailing, when you're reaching out. By creating the schedule beforehand, you won't miss things. Like, you'll be like, okay, I know what's next, and you keep things going. Use that initial week to really push and ask for things that you need, and keep that momentum strong in the beginning, because it also has a big impact on you. When you're able to come out of this in the beginning, like come out of the gate strong and really and really share what you're doing with passion and share it consistently, it helps you to keep going where you're not feeling this like lull. Because look, I don't know how long you're going to launch your pre-sale. It could be a couple of weeks, it could be a month, but it's hard to keep up that momentum. And anything you can do to get an early leg up on this will be really, really helpful. So remember that momentum is key. Create a plan before you launch anything that has a schedule to it, that you're keeping to that schedule. Because whether you're talking about crowdfunding or you're talking about pre-sales on your website, this is going to be your job for the next, X amount of weeks or month. This is where all of your effort and time is going to be. So creating a plan with a schedule to it is going to make that so much easier. So those are my 6 tips for pre-sale marketing. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below and we can talk more about it. And if you want more helpful information on starting a fashion business, growing a fashion business, head over to startupfashion.com. We have so much free content over there that will help you. And I want you to go over and check it out. So, okay, thanks for watching. Bye.